Like, why do we have to make
No.
50% margins on groceries or whatever the hell we're making? They could be half. And I mean, Galen be okay. His shareholders would still be okay. But like a lot of other people could be okay too, right? Like, isn't it crazy? What'd you say? $8.50 for 2 hash browns and a coffee? Bro,
$8.34 exactly.
when I was a kid, I paid $1.25 for a piece of pizza and a can of Coke. Okay. Like, I'm not that old. Like, this is crazy. $8.50? Like, that used to go to Tim Hortons and feed 3 people for $8.50. And that's just a few years ago. Talking about inflation, and more important, I think, to the world than your Uber Eats video is I watched another one of your videos about the price of 2 hash browns and a large coffee. I'm not even kidding.
I got you.
Like, it's crazy. And then so I mean, I was watching another video where this woman was talking about that inflation for the most part is really corporate profits, right? So those two ideas plus you being on the show, I think they're very relevant because like a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff to like stay above water right now, or thinking about stuff to do to stay above water. And why? Because like Galen Weston wants to make more for his shareholders, or all these, all these profit centers that are just allowed to run amok right now as, necessary. I don't know. Like, why the hell does every shopping, like, why do we have to make 50% margins on groceries or whatever the hell we're making? They could be half. And I mean, Galen be okay. His shareholders would still be okay. But like a lot of other people could be okay too, right? Like, isn't it crazy? What'd you say? $8.50 for 2 hash browns and a coffee? Bro,
$8.34 exactly.
when I was a kid, I paid $1.25 for a piece of pizza and a can of Coke. Okay. Like, I'm not that old. Like, this is crazy. $8.50? Like, that used to go to Tim Hortons and feed 3 people for $8.50. And that's just a few years ago. Like, we'd go through the drive-through and get the 2 kids breakfast and a coffee. And that was probably like $5 or $6 a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's, you know what? That's the thing. It's pretty crazy. And I went there, when I went there, I was like thinking to I don't know, my brain was like, okay, I'm going to come here. I'm going to spend $3-4. I don't know what it was. And then they gave me the $8.50. I was like, lucky I'm hungry. Because then
well, you were hilarious. You go, I don't like it, but I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. So,
we have those issues with higher costs of living right now. I think in Manitoba, right? You said one of the benefits of living in Manitoba is a lower cost of living. Are you just talking about housing?
Hey, well, yeah, I'm just focusing on real estate. Yeah. Just the cost of living when it comes to real estate. Yeah.
Because, what we're seeing in inflation numbers really is affecting, but across the country.
Right? Yeah, no, it's definitely, when it's on others, when we're like talking about the groceries and the gas and all that stuff, like that's all still, it's still out of control. But when it comes to the real estate, I just know by looking at some of the numbers throughout the provinces, like we're right at the top when it comes to like the lower cost of living,
Yeah,
so
because of housing.
And you guys are farmers, didn't you say? Like your family grew up on a farm.
Yeah, they still on the farm, yeah.
So are they making a ton of money with all these people paying all this money for groceries?
No, they're not farmers. They're big farmers like that. We're kind of they're just like kind of like hobby farmers and few cattle, and like they're not, it's not like big, like they just like my dad, right? He was a journeyman red seal steam fitter for 50 years. He's almost 80 now. And he's been a farmer. He's been on that farm his whole life. So he's either had 30 cows or he's had down to 10 cows, 7 cows. Like he always had something there because it's just something that was part of his life. And so, so they're definitely not rolling in anything.
We've got something going on right now in Ontario about removing the green belt, right? And this is something that's a big topic, right? Because we don't have enough places to build.
Right.
And so they're removing parts of this protected land in order to build more houses. We won't get into that.
Ontario's full, like we're built up.
right? Well, where
Looking
everyone
for
wants
places
to
to
move
build.
to is full, right? So in Manitoba,
Completely.
Winnipeg, how
Yeah.
far outside of Winnipeg is your dad's farm?
It's 35 minutes out.
35
That's
minutes.
pretty
And so
close.
surrounding Winnipeg is all farms.
Oh, it's, you know what? Like there's
Winnipeg is a farm.
Is Winnipeg a
there's
farm? No,
sections.
no, it's a city.
No,
I've seen pictures of Winnipeg.
but yeah, but
It's a big
definitely on the
farm.
outskirts of the city, right? It's it's just going. It's just everywhere you go around the outskirts of the city, you see condos being built, houses, apartment buildings. Like the farmland is getting eaten up for sure
Okay, so
By
you're experiencing
developers,
by developers.
yeah, development,
or
residential
is it
development.
just people that want to be hobby farmers?
No, like these are like I'm seeing condos, apartments. I think to be honest, I've seen a lot more rental spaces are being built.
Purpose-built rentals. Yeah.
Like what? Like 6-story buildings or 4-story walk-up
like
buildings?
6-story, like
Really?
a couple hundred units. Like they're huge. Like they're big.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How many stories is the condo that you're in right now?
This is only 3. This is only 12 units in this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
So
are there
hold
more
on.
and more condos coming? Like to me, Manitoba doesn't have a lot of condos, but like I know nothing.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is like you see a lot more, even right beside me here. I can see it right from my window. There's another big condo unit, probably 50, 60 units being built.
Okay. So you think more as prices go up, condos are really an affordable option, right? When they build condos, it's because they can give
Well,
people
who's buying them? Are they
a better
investors?
value for their money, right?
the average condo
Is
in
it an
Winnipeg
end user?
now is 250.
Okay.
So, but who's buying? An end user or an investor? Are they being rented out after?
Yeah, I think it's the one I'm renting this condo right now. So I'm
From
one
an
of-
investor.
from the person who ons it. Yeah.
I
In
imagine, right? For
Manitoba.
250,
Crazy. I guess.
we'll buy
What's
4 of
the
them.
do you mind telling us how much the rent is?
1,500.
1,500.
Wow.
Any idea what the
Great.
guy paid for the condo? Yeah, it's
No idea. No,
See?
I don't know.
for a whole condo.
Again, why are investors not buying more places in Manitoba?
TK? It's
Right?
time for a road trip,
Go and
buddy.
go and buy a place in Manitoba. You know, you get a great tenant, you get a great newer build,
We
you
should
get
do a road
great
trip.
price. Maintenance fees are pretty reasonable. We need to go coast to coast with our show.
We need an RV.
Yeah.
Right. And a
With
couple of
we
weeks.
can
TK.
record it in the back.
I'm not kidding.
Right? Yeah.
Like
Record it in the back and go
Tim
coast
Pool.
to coast.
Tim Pool did that.
Yeah.
Pretty
This
cool
is
RV.
just so you know, this is a 2-bedroom,
Nobody cares.
2-bathroom, 800 square feet condo.
Yeah.
2-bedroom,
2-bed, 2-bath, 1,500.
bathroom.
Ensuite. bathroom.
$1,500. This is like palatial, and it's it can't be a bad area. I mean, they're building more stuff right
No.
beside them.
No, it's a
It's a
nice,
good area.
nice little area here. Yeah.
Holy cow!
Our biggest
it's like a
issue, Ryan,
different
is
world.
the construction costs, the construction, getting the labor, the red tape behind getting the approvals done, the timeline for things to be able to get built, and the carrying costs that the developer has to be able to withstand in order to get it to that next spot. What is it like in Manitoba? Like the place next door to you? Did you know anything about it? Like when they were starting to build, then they were starting to sell. Do you have any idea on timelines? How
no,
fast somebody
well-
could build a condo building?
Well, I've been here, so that's been just over.
Great
Well, it's been about a year
Mhm.
because when I first moved here, it was 2 years ago, and then about a year ago, I started to see this place start to get going, and now it's at the point now where it's almost done. It looks done, but
Sold
it's safe
out.
to say within,
Sold
like,
out.
oh no, I don't know if it's sold out.
2 or 3 years,
I just mean it
they're
looks like
throwing
it's-
up a building.
Yeah, so in a couple
Makes
years.
sense.
We could do
2 or
that
3
too.
years makes
TK.
sense. I know, but it
Depends on
doesn't
the
happen
building.
often.
No.
2 to 3 years don't make sense. That's all it should take. When you go and find a site and you say, all right, we're ready to build and this is what we're going to build and we got the money to do it, 3 years later, that place should be built.
Yeah.
Right. But in Toronto for 10 years, they talk about what should be built and then
Yeah.
they keep on changing what they're going to build. And then eventually the guy runs out of money and says,
No,
maybe
or
I
the-
shouldn't build anything at all.
Or the policy changes and they go from 24 stories to 82 stories.
Yeah. And then they spend another 10 years figuring that out.
Right.
Like it's
It's-
so
No, that's
crazy.
Then they buy the neighbor and then they got to reapply now.
Yeah.
This is pandemonium, and it
Yeah.
is true. Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.